Hi Libra, thanks for joining me for the 2020 readings. Well, it's not 2020, it's January 2020, but yeah, it's a new decade and a new year, so it's pretty major, and there's some major astrology stuffs going on. I'm Vickieverlie. This is the Rock and Roll Prophetess channel. I am a psychic with 30 years experience, and I do use tarot and astrology to do the readings as well as my psychic abilities. This is for Libra Sun, Libra Rising, and Libra Moon. As always, we're going to use the Rock and Roll Tarot deck for the main portion of the readings. This is my own deck that I created, that I designed. Then we're going to pull a card from the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards, also my own creation. And then for the Patreon people, I offer an additional bonus card that this month will be from The Sacred Path by Jamie Sands. I do it where you pay one fee on Patreon and you have access to all the bonus videos. You don't have to pay per video. So if you like something like that, you think you might, you can check it out. Well, anyways, so let's start shuffling your cards. But this is such a big month for you, everybody. I mean, we're having an eclipse. We're having a lunar eclipse on the 10th. And then the big Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn is coming up on the right on the 12th. Right, it's active during the eclipse. And, you know, this is huge. This Saturn-Pluto and Capricorn thing, this hasn't happened since the 1500s. So nobody living today has experienced this in this incarnation anyway. So it's major news here. With you, what's happening with you, in Libra in general, it's Libra Sun, Rising, and Moon. But the Capricorn, everything's happening on the Capricorn Cancer axis. It's creating a square to all your Libra stuff. So it can bring conflict, and it is showing that there could be some conflict showing up. But it's always for necessary change. It's always for the best, you know, to come out the best in the end. So let's take a look at the cards. Oh, by the way, I'm still offering the year ahead. I'm extending it for a couple weeks, the year ahead readings, because I've gotten these up so late. And I am offering another special reading for that eclipse, Saturn-Pluto, if you're interested. But let's get into this. There does seem to be, I'm going to jump down to the bottom first because there does seem to be some conflicts going on. There does seem to be some rough patches that you're battling, or you're in conflict with somebody or something. And it does seem to be, for many of you, looks like it's something having to do with your work. That you're having some issues with your work. This card indicates doing a job that you hate anyway. This is having to do work just for that paycheck, and you hate it, and it's not giving you any fulfillment. As a matter of fact, it's probably making you miserable. For many of you, there does seem to be a new opportunity, and for some, a lot of you could be, this card could be your own business even. At any rate, it's time to set your foot on a new path, and it's going to lead to this financial independence that you're craving. You're not going to be you don't have to stay in this situation. When we get into situations where we are up against a lot of conflict, it's like we're beating our head against the wall, or we're having difficulty. It usually is because we are on the wrong path. And the universe is trying to give us a little nudge, give us a little push, make us go in a different direction, give us a little turn. And that seems to be what's happening to you. For many of you, it's like, I don't know, I don't want to move. It's going to be too hard to move on, or there's fear involved. Maybe you've spent a long time in your current situation, maybe even 8 months or 8 years. And it's just like, oh, or maybe you have 8 years to go for your pension or retirement or something. Like, oh, I just got 8 more years to go. I don't want to make a big change. Well, you don't have to, but if you don't, you're going to continue to suffer. This eclipse, this Saturn-Pluto thing, it's pushing you, it's nudging you, it's getting you on a new track. And the new track looks beautiful. The Knight of Pentacles is a beautiful, beautiful card. She's doing very well. And her work is not, she's got plenty of money, but the work is not all consuming. She's got time for pleasure, to play with her bird, and she's got nice clothes, you know, she's got disposable income. So what the alternative is not, you know, being on the street begging. The alternative is doing something that you find enjoyable and that you're very prosperous with. It's going to take some guts. It's going to take you taking a risk, taking a chance, giving it a shot here. There are people involved, and they all seem to be real favorable, and they're not you either. We've got a Queen of Rods and a Queen of Cups. Neither would be you, unless you had, this is fire and water. So unless you had fire or water, it might be if you have fire, water, rising, or moon. But for most people, it's going to be other outside influences here. So they're shown as queens, but that does not necessarily mean that they're female in gender. So this one's fire, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. This one's water, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You know, this water energy, right by this full moon, this could be the Cancer eclipse, the full moon eclipse in Cancer, which is occurring again on January 10th. So that could be something on or around, at that full moon eclipse, this could all kind of come to culmination and really, you know, be a big thing. You've got the pages here, but often I just use the pages as communicators, as messages. All the young dudes carry the news, as I always say. And then you've got fire and air. Well, air, we are definitely moving into air. We are moving into air on January 20th as we move from from Capricorn into Aquarius. And we are also going to have a new moon in Aquarius on the 24th. So there's definitely some air energy coming in. This fire, this feels to me like we're going back and forth. We're talking, we're negotiating, we're going back and forth with this stuff. And that we're going to arrive at some decision here. And we're going to be here. This fire energy, this may have been going on all the way since back in Sagittarius time, which that would have been, you know, in early December, between December, before the solstice in December. So you may have been, some of you may have been like writing back and forth, emailing, or in negotiations or something like this, going back and forth, back and forth. And then by the time we get to Aquarius, you know, it's a done deal. We're settled here. There's definitely something on the horizon is what I'm hearing for you. There's a new life on the horizon here for you. There's a new prosperity. There's new abundance. You don't have to stay and you don't have to force, you know, this is like where you have to just drag yourself out of bed every morning to go to some shitty job that you hate and it just is draining your life force. You don't have to do that anymore. It's not like, okay, I'm quitting my job with nowhere to land, although the Fool does have nowhere to land. He totally trusts in the universe. But that would never be an advice I would give. You know, you can start emailing, you can start looking, you can start, you know, going back and forth. And for some of you, you absolutely will be starting your own business or your side gig that could turn into your own business. And it's something that you really, I'm hearing you make your own hours, do what you want, you know. But you know, people sometimes think it's real, you know, glamorous to have your own business, but many people will tell you who are self-employed, you end up working 12, 15-hour days a lot of time. But if it's something that you love, it's often not. It's not like this. It's not staying in some job that you hate for 12 or 15 hours. So, for many of you, you may be kind of getting forced into making a change. Maybe you were just going to try to ride it out for 8 more years or 8 more months, or maybe you've got 8 years under your belt. You don't want to make this change right now, but these eclipses are really going to be putting the pressure on, and for many of you to make a change and turn a corner and go in a different direction. Okay, so this, of course, is a general reading for everyone. I still do have the eclipse readings and other readings on my website. If you want to order to find out more, you know, how it affects you personally, you can do so. But one more before we finish. Let's get our animal totem card going here for Libra. Libra. The hummingbird. The hummingbird sometimes means love. That's what I always think of when I see the hummingbird. But let's see what I wrote initially. Love abounding, laughter and joy. Elevated vibrations bring glimpses of magic. Yeah. The fairy folks surely dance nearby. Savor the sweet bouquet and taste the nectar of life. Yeah. This elevated vibration. You can't get an elevated vibration if you're doing this every day and you come home and you're just exhausted and you just, you know, sleep and get up and do it again. You know, that you can never get your vibration up here. The Fool has a very elevated vibration. The Fool is full of hope and wonder and, you know, is a major arcana card. So find that something that brings you joy, even if you're not it's not your job or whatever it is. Find something to counterbalance this. You can't just be drained all the time. And that's very, Libras, you know, more than anybody, you guys need balance in your life. You're ruled by Venus. Excuse me. Excuse me. That something caught in my throat. You're ruled by Venus. And Venus is the planet of love, beauty, creativity. And you are Libra, the balance of the scales. You guys need that balance. You need that scales. You need the balance in your life. So you're not going to be able to function at that level. You're just not going to be able to. Excuse me, I'm getting a cough drop. Find that joy. Find something to counterbalance it. Find a way to elevate your vibration until you can make the leap into the new situation. This eclipses may just be the thing that propels you right into it. You know, very, very much could be. Okay, again, I do offer the couple of readings. The specialized readings will be available for a little bit longer, but I have all sorts of readings. I have books and decks and t-shirts and coloring books and all sorts of stuff on my website, and I do appreciate you taking the time to check it out. And by purchasing my wares, it does help to contribute to keeping this channel going and keeping it free, keeping it free and keeping it going all these months and years and into the next year. So I do appreciate you so much for liking, sharing, commenting. If you can't find my videos, you can always hit that subscribe button and you can always be notified when the videos do come available. Thank you so much for all your support. And remember, you are love and beauty incarnate, and have a great one.